So you're making a new Minecraft world, or maybe you're starting for the first time, or coming back after a long break. Well, this is the guide for you. I'm going to teach you today how you should get back into Minecraft, the proper way to play from a true Minecraft pro. Now, I've been playing for a long time, and I'm here to help you out. So, first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're playing on hard mode. Hard mode has extra features that the other modes do not have, and they're just, honestly, hard modes can be easier, except for the early game when mobs deal a lot more damage than they usually would. Alright, so the first thing you want to do, number one, that is number zero. So number one is to, well, get wood like I'm doing right here. Punch some trees, get a little bit of wood. And if there's a cliffside nearby, you can get a little bit of stone as well. So let's make ourselves a stone pick. So we'll just get a wooden pick. Stone pick, just do this really quickly. Get a little bit of stone, enough to make you pick, and an axe. You don't need any more than that. You can get a furnace if you'd like, some torches, some coal, but it's really not necessary. Another thing you'll want to do while you're running around is you want to look for any type of food or sugarcane, anything like that. You want to also make sure you're looking out for materials to make a bed, so you need wool. Maybe you find a sheep, or maybe you find a village with a bed. While you're traveling the world, you might find little structures like this underwater, say the sunken ships, or little pieces underwater, there's little ruins. And you want to be really careful because drowned can sometimes spawn with tridents in the world. And tridents will pretty much two-shot you without any armor. So you want to look for things that are in really shallow water. And you're looking mainly for a treasure map. We didn't find one this time, but we'll keep looking. Here we go, buried treasure map, the bottom of this boat. This buried treasure map will lead us to some really good treasure. The map is always north facing, which means that the top of the map is at the north. Now, to locate this, let's take this back into our hands and try to get to the center. And it should be right around here. It might take a little bit of digging, but with a little bit of persistence. You'll finally find it. Looks like we didn't get too lucky today, but we did get ourselves a Heart of the Sea, a little bit of iron, and an iron sword, which is always nice to have. Oh, finally safe. We can move on from here. Doing that will consist of continuing to loot villages, looking for shipwrecks, things like that. And you're going to want to collect yourself up at least 5 diamonds. If you can't, try to get 3. And if you can't do that, that's alright. Do you see that right there? It looks like one of the structures. See from the front, it's a desert pyramid. This is how you do it. You want to mine right around here. Not in the middle, that will kill you if you're not careful. Looks like we got super lucky though. We got an enchanted golden apple. This is super rare. No diamonds still. We'll keep looking. Ruined portals are everywhere now too. It'd be pretty nice to find some decent silk touch possibly. Other things, obsidian could be nice to have for a quick nether portal. Flint and steels for letting those nether portals later down the line. They always have pretty good stuff. Chest plates, things like that. So make sure you do check these out when you do see them in your world. Alright, so now you've done plenty of exploring. And you got 5 diamonds, which you chose to do. You don't have to, but that's what I would like to do. Then first thing you're going to do is make yourself a diamond pick. And you're going to save those 2 diamonds. Don't make a diamond sword. Those are going to be for your enchantment table later down the line. Another nice thing to have is actually a bucket. Get yourself a little water and head on down. So when you're down here mining, you're going to want to prioritize getting a little bit of iron. You don't need a ton. Another thing you're going to want to do while you're down here mining is when it's safe, you want to make a little bit of a base of operations. Set down a bed, set down a crafting table, put down a chest. Just put away your valuables, things you're not going to need. You're going to want to be able to start back over in case you die down here. Put your diamonds away, whatever else you don't need. So before you leave, make sure you have a few things. You're going to need your diamond pickaxe, your iron sword if you picked up one, or you can craft one. Maybe you have a little bit of extra iron you already mined. Make sure you have food, some torches. Sort my inventory a little bit, make sure it's clear. And especially, don't forget, you're going to want a shield. Oh, that's pretty close. But make sure you get yourself a shield, put that in your offhand. And you'll now be safe from skeletons, which are probably the most dangerous mob in hard mode. While you're mining, you want to always make sure you're listening for mobs. Personally, I just heard a witch. I'm going to be very wary of witches. They're one of the more dangerous mobs you can find in a cave. So once you find your way down a little bit in the world, you're going to get down to about Y11 hopefully. And at that point, you're going to start seeing diamonds and other very valuable ores. You want to prioritize getting diamonds over everything else. Looks like we hit a dead end here, but we'll keep going down. You can always go down like this in the Minecraft world. Don't dig straight down, of course. You probably heard that. Don't dig straight down. It's never worth risking all of your hard work and all your items. So this is the general mining strategy. Once you're down to Y11, as you can see in my F3 screen, it looks look for block, should be highlighted. Once it says Y11, we just want to dig in a straight line, always making sure we're placing torches at decent intervals, not too close to each other, but enough to where mobs aren't going to spawn in this tunnel. You can go caving as well, but strip mining is going to be the fastest. Well, looks like I finally heard a bit of lava, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I want to just start digging towards the noise wherever I think it is. So to make obsidian, we just drop our water bucket. Drop a water bucket like this. Make sure you're always careful that the diamonds don't fall in lava. You can always check underneath if there is lava before you mine them. Looks like there was there, so it's always worth checking. Now we're going to mine this obsidian and get ourselves 14 blocks. Then once you head upstairs, maybe you want to make a door, be a little bit safer than I am. You could also block yourself in if you feel a little safer that way. And you want to craft yourself a enchant table. There you go. And you can place it down and get some enchantments going. I like efficiency personally on my pickaxes, and sharpness is also pretty nice. Smiting as well is pretty good for your first few enchantments. Next, you want to smelt up a little bit of iron and make yourself a flint and steel because we're going to be going to the nether. That's right. Also, make sure you have at least one piece of gold armor on you. I'd recommend boots or a helmet. Chest plate or pants, they work fine though, because piglins in the nether are going to be a problem if you don't have gold armor on. So now you lit your portal and you can head in. I'd recommend making sure you set your spawn again. Perhaps set it today. Do whatever you think you need to do. Make sure you're ready to go back in the nether in case you need to save yourself after you die in the nether. Pick up your items again. Make sure you always have a backup plan. Make sure you carry a flint and steel as well with you and have backup equipment to get a flint and steel to go back in the nether. So we'll head in. Looks like we spawned directly into a bastion, and this is what I mean by you need to keep your gold armor on. If we didn't have gold armor right now, we'd be swamped by piglins. These guys are dangerous as well. You want to stay away from them. They will always attack you, no matter what armor you have on. So just run away from those guys. So now that we're in the nether, what we're going to want to do is actually just mine quartz. Yep, you're going to mine quartz to level 30. You'll be able to get a level 30 enchantment within about 10 minutes. Of course, this would require you to actually have enough bookshelves to get a level 30 enchantment. But a lot of times in run-throughs, if you've hit a lot of villages, you can collect a lot of bookshelves. Personally, I didn't, so I don't need to really do this step, but this might be something you want to do. And in the future, when you do get a level 30 enchantment bookshelf and bookcase, you will actually want to be doing this until you get yourself a real XP farm, so you can get yourself things like Fortune, Silk Touch, Looting. Level 30 enchantments are extremely powerful in this game and make it a lot easier to play. You're going to actually want to be looking for a nether fortress as well while you're in the nether. You may just want to note its coordinates, as well as making sure you note your own nether portal's coordinates. Personally, I can go up there because I've been playing this game for a long time. I'm not worried about blazes, but you might actually want to get a bow before you do. One thing you're looking for in the nether fortress is actually nether warts. Make sure you pick these up and get a few pieces of soul sand so you can grow them at home and get some potions if you're really into that. Another thing to consider if you're coming into a nether fortress is actually these chests. They can have some pretty good loot. Sometimes they have nether warts themselves, some gold, sometimes diamonds. So if you feel you didn't get enough diamonds early on, nether fortresses are actually a pretty good way to find some. Be very careful around wither skeletons. They can kill you in 1 to 2 hits with very low armor. Make sure you're always keeping track of your surroundings and keep your mob volume up high. Remember, don't greed. I just found 3 diamonds. This is probably a sign that I should head back home. I make this look really easy, but for newer players, this is a really difficult challenge. You might consider not going here. Once you're back in the overworld, that's pretty much the early game. You made it through the early game of Minecraft. There's not too much to do in the early game of Minecraft. There's a lot of mining, a lot of resource collection, but that's about it. Part 2 of this video series will be a bit of the mid-game and late game of Minecraft. There's a lot more to do in the mid-game and late game of Minecraft than there is in the early game. So if you've struggled to get this far into Minecraft and you think that there's not much left to do, trust me, it's worth getting through this Bit of a learning curve. It's a bit high, a bit steep, but once you get through this learning curve, trust me, it's worth it. There's a lot more to do in this game. So hopefully you can check me out for that second episode, which will be coming out pretty soon, and I'll catch you there. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. Bye.